Hello, my name is James Carter. Today is March 10th, 2025. Hello, everyone. Today we're going to explore the topic of neuroscience and how it connects to leadership. Three key areas that we're focusing on today is what is neuroscience and how is it emerging, how it relates to leadership, and how it's become beneficial in the workplace. Let us dive in, people. I promise I'll make this as fast and as quick as possible. Hopefully fun. I'm not really sure about that fun part, but here we go. What is neuroscience and how is it emerging? Neuroscience is the study of the brain and nervous system, how we think, how we feel, and how we behave. Recent advances like brain imaging and AI help us understand decision makings, emotions, and learning. So a deeper step into that, like social skills, emotional regulation, and just understanding social cues in general. Those are all factors that play into brain imaging. It is emerging in leadership through concepts like neural leadership, which applies the brain science to management and performance. Study shows that understanding how the brain works can improve emotional intelligence, resilience, and motivation in leaders. So the key takeaway to part one is understanding yourself helps you understand others. Without understanding yourself, you cannot understand others. Part two, how do neuroscience relate to leadership? Leadership is all about influencing people, and neuroscience explains how brains respond to leadership styles. Responding to leadership styles can sometimes be proven difficult because not every form of leadership works for one person. Finding the correct leadership style for you, that depends all on your chemistry, your eagerness to learn, your eagerness to explore what works for you. Being an authoritarian does not work for everyone. Sometimes it can come off as condescending, micromanaging, and just microproducing. In other words, find your leadership style. What works for you won't work for others. The SCARF model: status, certainty, anonymity, relatedness, and fairness. Shows how leaders can trigger positive and negative brain responses. Understanding stress and decision fatigue helps leaders create better working environments. Like if you're working in a high stress environment and the CEO, he he's just unconnected. He's in tune with what's going on. Someone is in tune with what's going on in your community, in your area. Has a negative impact on people because people are looking at like he don't care about us. He's just here. He's just here doing this. He's just doing this, micromanaging us. Having a leader that is connected to you and understand your emotions and empathy and everything, that promotes a positive work environment. Emotionally intelligent leaders who understand brain chemistry, like dopamine and cortisol, can boost team morale and productivity. So what that is saying is someone that is in tune with his team's feelings. Feelings, cares, worries, desires, advancement. Those are all key examples of a leader that is emotionally intelligent. He's able to see outside of himself. He's able to grasp the concept of, yeah, that's a person and not just a worker that's working underneath him. Part 3. How could it benefit your work setting? If you're in HR, management, or teaching, neuroscience helps in motivating and engaging people effectively. In other words, creates engagement. Creates engagement, a positive atmosphere, a positive working environment. Teamwork makes the dream work. You can create a brain-friendly work environment that reduces stress, increases focus, and improves teamwork. In other words, team working, team building exercises, team benchmarks, productivity meetings. Anything that adds a positive outlook on the job or encourages togetherness, this is the step where it's needed. Help in conflict resolution, decision making, and fostering a growth mindset. In other words, minimize the work conflict. Avoid being involved in office rumors. Open communication. Using neuroscience-backed strategies, leaders can develop more trust, motivation, and innovation within the teams. In other words, foster growth. Encourage your team to speak outside. Step outside the box. Ask for input. Be open to suggestions. Active listening. Active listening means you're not listening just to respond. You're listening to get a clear understanding, to have something added to the conversation, to be a part of the conversation. You're not talking at someone, you're talking with someone. Neuroscience. Neuroscience is transforming the way we think about leadership and the workplace. By understanding how our brains work, we can lead more effectively, create better work environments, and help teams thrive. Thank you for watching along with me, and hopefully I did not bore you too bad. Well, I know I bored y'all. I know I bored y'all. As I'm reading from my transcript, I knew I was bored. But as you say, as a good leader, the show must go on.